Hello guys, welcome to the channel Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles. I am Kishore and today's video will be on a wonderful classic Sudoku by Jackisaacbryan. This Sudoku was posted by him on the Logic Masters Germany portal and we are thankful to the author for giving us the permission to make a video on this Sudoku. So the link to solving the Sudoku is given in the description of the video. Please try it out before watching the video. You will be amazed at the solve path. So the rules of the Sudoku are standard classic rules. Each row, each column and each 3x3 box of the Sudoku will have digits from 1 to 9 without repetitions. And before starting the solve, please check out the videos that we have posted earlier. Check out the Sudoku playlist, classic Sudoku playlist that we have. You guys will surely be impressed. And if you think that we are doing a good job, that you are enjoying the videos that we are posting, please support us by subscribing to the channel. So we'll really appreciate if you hit the subscribe button. So having said that, we'll start the classic Sudoku. Okay. So before starting the Sudoku, I wish to state one thing. I've solved this classic previously and I know how good the solve path is. So I will try to take you through the exact intended solution path. So sit back and enjoy this video. This will surely be a treat for you guys. So, okay. So if you look at box 2, 1, 2 cannot be in row 3 and 1 and 2 cannot be in column 4. So which means that we can mark a pair. 1, 2 pair would go here. And these 4 cells must be 3, 7, 8 and 9, right? So this cannot be 3 or 8. So that's 7, 9 and that would be 3, 7, 9. This has to be 7, 8, 9 because of the 3 and this would be 3, 7, 8 and 9. And now let us try to write pencil marks in areas where there are a few candidates, or we may even write more candidates because this Sudoku demands such a scenario. So in column 4, 1, 2, 5, 8 are the givens and the remaining digits are 3, 4, 6, 7 and 9. So that's a 3, 4, so that's 6, 7, 9. This would be 4, 6, 7, 9 and this would be 1, 2, 5, 6, 8. So 3, 4, 7 and 9, right? And you will also notice that 3, 4 cannot be in the middle column and 3, 4 cannot be in the middle row. So you can lock a 3, 4 pair in box 5. So this cannot be 7, 9. So that would be 3, 4. These are the only two cells which can take a 3, 4. Which means that we can mark a triplet 1, 7, 9 in those cells. And let us quickly write the pencil mark in row 5. 3, 4, 6, 8. So 1, 2, 5, 7, 9 are the remaining digits. So you have 1, 2, 7 here. So that would be a 5, 9. This would be a 7, 9. And let us look at row 2 now. 3, 4, 6 and 1, 2, 7. So that is a 5, 8 and 9. And this would be a 7, 8 and 9, right? 1, 2, 5 and 3, 4, 6. So that has to be a 7, 8 and 9. And now let's try to look at cells which have 3 candidates. 1, 3, 2, 5, 4, 8. So that has to be 6, 7, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that has to be 7, 8, 9. You can't have anything else here. So 1, 3, 4, 8 and 5 and 6. So this has to be 2, 7, 9 and 3, 4, 7, 8, 1 and 2. So that has to be a 5, 6 and 9. 1, 2, 5, 3, 4, 8. So again 5, 6 and 9. 3, 4, 6 and 1, 2, 7. So that has to be 5, 8 and 9. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 4, 8, 9. This would be a 5, 8, 9. This has to be 5, 6 and 9. All standard classic stuff, guys. I am doing this because I know beforehand how the solve works and I was just amazed at seeing this solve. It is very tough classic Sudoku. It is very tough to actually create such a way and it is also hard to solve. It's very hard to solve, guys. It's not so easy. So 1, 2, 5, 3, 4, 6. So that has to be 7, 8, 9. So 3, 4, 8, 1, 2, 5. Again 6, 7, 9. So I have quickly populated the grid with cells which have 3 candidates or even 2. So we may need to write more candidates as the Sudoku gets ahead. Okay, so at this point we'll start using that advanced technique that you need to keep on using, guys. You will be amazed. So before that I'll move on to a different screen to explain the technique. So what we are going to see now is called as swordfish. So this is a sample grid that I had prepared beforehand for you guys to explain the technique. So if you look at rows 2, 5 and 8, so the missing digits are, so in this row this would be 3 and 5, that has to be 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, so that has to be 4, 5, 9, 4, 5, 9, 4, 5, 9, and that has to be 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 1, 4 and 7, so 5 and 6, 5 and 6. Of course this 6 can immediately give you a 6, so what I'll do is I'll just replace that by using a 1 here and a 6 here, so that the explanation would be easier. So you will notice that in these 3 rows 5 isn't exactly these cells, right? So basically in rows 2, 5 and 8 you are restricting the position, or rather the 5 is constricted only to cells, restricted only to cells, restricted to columns 2, 5 and 9. In rows 2, 5 and 8 and columns 2, 5 and 9, 5 is restricted. So basically it's an extension of an X-wing pattern. X-wing is like when you have in 2 by 2, right? 2 rows and 2 columns. But a swordfish is something which is extended by one more dimension. So 3 rows and 3 columns. So you will see that when you have such a situation, so all the yellow cells can't take a 5. So this is what you call a swordfish technique. This is a very, very powerful technique, and you can use this in advanced classic Sudokus, but it is really rare to be spotted. So when you are solving in leisure, you are more bound to see such techniques. So in all the yellow highlighted cells, we could remove the 5. So for instance, if by classic you had somewhat, let's say you have a pencil mark like 5, 8 here, so then we could have eliminated the 5 from here and straight away placed the 8 here, because the yellow cells can't take a 5, right? So it need not be perfectly 3 cells in each row and 3 cells in each column. Sometimes you may even have 5 in 2 cells, but as long as it's restricted to 3 rows and 3 columns, you can use this technique. This is called a swordfish technique. We have covered this technique previously on the channel too, and we are covering it once again for the benefit of viewers who may be seeing this for the first time. So now you will see that in this classic Sudoku, we'll be using this technique. I don't know, you'll see. So first, I'll highlight the cells that is going to take the swordfish. In row 2, 1 can only be in these cells. In row 5, 1 can only be in these cells. And row 7, 1 can only be in these 3 cells. Now you'll notice that rows 2, 5 and 7, columns 1, 6 and 9 have a swordfish of 1. Those are the only cells which can take out 1 in those rows and columns. So all the yellow cells can't take a 1. So we'll make sure that we eliminate 1 from all these yellow cells, because this is really important in the solve. So this can't be 1, 3 and 6, so that has to be 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 1, 3, 4, 6, 2, 5, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 1 can't be here, so 1, 4, 5, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8 and 9, and 1, 2, 7, 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, and this can't be a 1, right? So 1, 2, 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 9. So all the yellow cells cannot take a 1. Remember that, guys. So we have found a swordfish, so this is not a 1. So 2, 4, 7, 8, 9, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9 can't be 1, 4 and 7. So 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 and 9, 2, 5, 7, 9, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 and 9, and 1 can be eliminated from here. So 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 and 9. So this is our first swordfish. Now you see what happens in the Sudoku. So have I eliminated 1 from all the yellow cells? I think so. So we'll quickly remove the markings. And now we just now found a swordfish of 1. Now you will see that we are finding a swordfish on 2. So let me quickly highlight the cells which contain swordfish of 2. So in rows 2, 5 and 7, columns 1, 6 and 9, you will notice that 2 is restricted to exactly 3 rows and 3 columns. Amazing, right? Now we can use the swordfish again. Again, I'll use the yellow cells to take off, to indicate cells which cannot take a 2, right? And make sure that the 2 is removed from all these cells. 2 is removed from here. This is not a 2 and this is not a 2, right? So 1, 5, 6, 7 and 9. Okay, all the yellow cells can't take a 2. This is not a 2, so 1, 5, 7, 8 and 9. this is not a 2, this is not a 2. So we have used the swordfish of 2 and removed 2 from all the cells which can't take a 2, all the yellow cells. Notice how these 4 cells which had a lot of possibilities, in fact they had 7 possibilities I think. Notice how these cells are going to slowly reduce in the number of values that they can take. We are slowly chipping away at the values of those cells. So let me quickly remove the markings. We found a swordfish of 1, we found a swordfish of 2, now we are going to find a swordfish of 3. Superb, right? So 3 has to be in one of these cells, 3 has to be in one of these cells, and 3 has to be in one of these cells. So in rows 3, 4 and 8, columns 1, 6 and 9, we are having a swordfish of 3 now. Superb, right? Superb, guys. So which means that all the yellow cells, I'll quickly mark them for you, all the yellow cells can't take a 3. Okay, so we'll make sure that 3 is removed from all of those cells. So this is not a 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. So 1, 2, 7, 9, 3 is not here, 3 is not here, and 3 is not here. This is not 3, 4, 7, 8. So 1, 2, 5, 6, 9, this is not a 3. So we have removed 3 from all the yellow cells. And now you guys would have guessed it right. We are going to find a swordfish on 4. So 4 is in one of these 2 cells, 4 is in one of these 2 cells, and 4 is in one of these 2 cells. So in rows 3, 4 and 8 and columns 1, 6 and 9 we are having a swordfish of 4. So which means that the yellow cells can't take a 4. So I am very certain guys that if you don't use any of these swordfishes, it's going to be impossible to solve the Sudoku, because I've tried myself. I've tried to solve the Sudoku without using one of the swordfishes I mentioned, and it is impossible to solve the Sudoku. So okay, so this is not a 4. I'll remove 4 from all the highlighted cells. 4 is not here, 4 is not here, 4 is not here, and 4 is already removed from here. So we use the swordfish on 4, and now the swordfish hasn't stopped guys. It's going to continue. We are going to use swordfish on 5. Amazing, right? Superb. Really, to have that many number of Sudoku swordfishes in a Sudoku is not easy. So 5 is in one of these 3 cells, and 5 is in one of these 2 cells, and 5 is in one, two. Okay, I think I missed removing a pencil mark from one of those cells. I think we need to remove the pencil marks from somewhere before continuing the Sudoku. So let us just go back, because we are not having a swordfish of 5 yet. So if you look at this row, 5 is in lots of cells. So let us try to do something before we continue on with our swordfish series. So this is going to be 4, 7, 8 and 9. And okay, 1, 2 pair, 3, 7, 8, 9. So 8 must be in one of these cells, right? And which means that this is not an 8, that is not an 8, that is not an 8. Classic stuff. So 5 goes in one of these cells, 5 goes in one of these 3 cells, and okay, 5 can be removed from here, right? So we have a 5 here, so which means 5 cannot be here. And now you will see that the swordfish is in play. So okay, in rows 2, 5 and 7 and columns 1, 8 and 9 we have a swordfish of 5, which means that in this 3 by 3 pattern 5 is restricted only to these 3 rows and these 3 columns. So which means that the yellow cells cannot take a 5. So notice how row 1 column 1, row 1 column 9, row 9 column 1 and row 9 column 9 are slowly getting reduced in possibilities guys. It's amazing to see. So 5 is not in any of the yellow cells. I'll quickly remove the 5s from here. This is not a 5. So 1, 2, 7, 4 and 5. So 3, 6, 8 and 9. That's not a 5. 1, 3, 5, 2 and 7. So 4, 6, 8, 9. That's not a 5. 1, 2, 7, 5 and 6. 3, 4, 8, 9. That's not a 5. Yellow cells can't take a 5. That's not a 5. That's not a 5. So very clean elimination. Okay, so now we have did our job. The Sudoku still is unsolvable without using 2 more swordfishes. So you can try solving the Sudoku. It's impossible to solve unless you guess and complete. There is no way you can solve this Sudoku without finding 2 more swordfishes. So we found swordfish of 1, we have found swordfish of 2, 3, 4, 5. Next would obviously be a 6. So now you notice that the swordfish of 6 is in okay. So in rows 3, row 4 and row 8 and columns 1, 3 and 9, we have restricted to 6 to exactly 3 rows and 3 columns, which means that all the yellow cells again can't take a 6. Superb. So let us remove the 6 from these cells. So very careful examination removes the 6 from here. This is not a 6. 3, 4, 8, 2 and 6. So 1, 5, 7, 9. That's not a 6. 3, 4, 8, 5 and 6. 1, 2, 7, 9. That's not a 6. 3, 4, 8, 1, 6, 2, 5, 7, 9. Okay. So I hope that I've removed all these pencil marks that I needed to, because that would spoil or solve otherwise. So we have removed 6 from all the yellow cells, right? Yes. So, and now we need to use one more swordfish, guys. And for that, you cannot immediately use the swordfish of 7. You need to do something classic wise before using the last swordfish of the Sudoku. And with that, you will see how good the Sudoku is. So far, if you observe closely, we haven't even managed to place a single digit, guys. Using classic rules, we have not placed even a single digit. Still, we are doing so much background work in the Sudoku. So if you look at column 1 now, there is a 7, 8, 9 triplet, right? So which means that that's not a 7, 9, that's not a 7, 9, that's not a 9, that's not a 7, 9. So you have a 7, 8, 9 in these 3 cells. So I have removed 7, 8, 9 from the rest of the cells. Okay. Alright. So now if you look at box 1, we have eliminated 2 and 5 using the swordfishes here, right? If you noticed earlier, 2, 5 cannot be in these cells and 2, 5 cannot be in these cells. So 2, 5 would have had 3 cells at the start, these 3 cells, but because 2, 5 got eliminated from this cell, we are having a 2, 5 pair now in this box. So which means that this cannot be 7, 9. So we marked a 2, 5 pair. And similarly, 3, 4 cannot be here in row 2. And 3, 4 cannot be here. So we also eliminated 3, 4 from here using swordfish. So 3, 4 can only be in these 2 cells. So that's not 7, 9. That's not 8, 9. And now continuing on. 1, 2 cannot be here. 1, 2 cannot be here. And we removed the 1 and 2 using swordfishes from this cell. So 1, 2 has to go here. And 1, 2 has to go here. These 2 cells contain a 1 and 2 pair. Awesome, right? Simply awesome, guys. What a Sudoku. And now because we did that, now you'll notice that there is a swordfish of 7 in the Sudoku. We have used 6 swordfishes totally. This is the 7th swordfish. So let us use that. So I hope you guys appreciate how much means the author would have done to make this thing work. Superb, right? So 7 is in these 3 cells. And I guess we need to do something more to get the swordfish of 7, because I'm not getting the swordfish yet, because there are few cells which is upsetting the pattern. Okay, 7 was in these cells. 7. Okay, we need to do some more work before we can see the next swordfish. Let us try to do that. So you can see that the Sudoku seems to be in a mess, and there is not a single Sudoku available. So it was a very difficult solve for me, but I enjoyed each and every moment of the Sudoku. Okay. What do I need to do here? Awesome. So we noticed a 7, 8, 9 triplet in column 1, right? Now you'll notice that 7, 8, 9 triplet in column 9. So we can use that to our advantage. So that's not 8, 9. That's not 7, 9. So that is removing the 7 from here. So potentially giving us a 7 swordfish. So 7, 8, 9 does not go here, and 7, 8, 9 does not go here. So 3, 4, 6 triplet and 1, 2, 5 triplet. Superb. Now you can use the swordfish of 7, guys. 7 is not is in one of these cells. 7 is in one of these cells, and 7 is in one of these cells. Of course, you can try to shade the 7 in these cells, but that is not going to help, because that is not part of the swordfish pattern. So in rows 2, 5 and 7 and columns 2, 4 and 6 you have a swordfish of 7. The final swordfish, guys, the final swordfish that you need to find to use the solve the Sudoku. So I did not explore further after this, because with this swordfish I could complete the Sudoku, but there may be swordfishes of 8 and 9 as well in the Sudoku. I'm not really certain. Maybe okay, you guys can try out the Sudoku from this point and try to see if there are swordfishes of 8 and 9 maybe. So let us remove 7 from the yellow cells. So this cell is not a 7, so that's 3, 6, 8, 9, 1, 2, 4, 5, 7 eliminated, so that is not a 7. 1, 2, 5, 7, 8, so 3, 4, 6 and 9, and this is not a 7, that's not a 7, that's not a 7, that's not a 7, that's not a 7. Okay, I've removed 7 from all the cells I wanted, and now I think the Sudoku should be doable. But still it won't be easy, mind you. There are still some difficult steps. So this is 2, 5, 7, 8, 9, and still after 21 minutes of our solve, we haven't placed a single digit in the Sudoku. So these are the only 2 cells left in pencil marks. Why not I put them out? 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's a 2, 7, 8 and 9. 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 and 9. Right? 2 and 6. So 3 and 4 are also ruled out. So 1, 5, 7, 8, 9. So basically every cell in the Sudoku except the givens is filled with candidates, and still we haven't placed our first digit. What a Sudoku, guys. Take this moment to appreciate how much the author would have done to have such a solve path. I was simply amazed by the solve path, guys. This is one of the best classic Sudokus that I've solved in a long time. So let us continue the Sudoku now. So if you look at row 9 carefully, you have an 8-9 pair here, right? So which means that has to be a 7, and rest of the cells can be removed of their 8-9 pencil mark. Sorry, so that's not 8-9, that's not a 9, that's not a 7 and a 9, because you have a 7 here, 7, 9, that's not a 9, that's not a 7. So I think I've removed all the 7 and 9s. Okay, that's good. And now if you look at box 7, we have placed our first digit, guys. After 22 minutes of the solve, we have placed our first digit. So you have a 1-5 pair now. So which means that's not a 5. So that's a 6-9, and that removes the 6. That gives a 3-4 pair. So slowly the things are setting in place in the Sudoku. Superb. So now if you notice in column 3, we have a 6-7-9 triplet. So that's not 7-9. And you have 1-2-5 triplet again. So that is not helping us actually. Okay, now if you look carefully at row 1, so 4, 7, 8, 9, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, right? And 6 is here. And 1, 2, 5 triplet is in these cells, guys. In row 1, these 2 cells cannot contain 1, 2, 5. This is not 1, 2, 5. These 2 cells cannot contain 1, 2, 5. So these 3 cells would have to be 1, 2, 5. So 7, 8, 9 can be removed from this, becomes 1, 5. And now we have a 1, 5 pair here. So that's not a 5. That's 8 and 9. So 7, 8, 9 triplet. Superb. And because of the 7 here, I'll remove the 7 from these cells. That's 8 and 9 now. Okay. So 3, 4, 8, 9 quadruple. Amazing. Still the Sudoku doesn't seem to end. So 3, 4, 8, 9 quadruple. So that gives a 7 here. This can't be 8 and 9. So because of which we get a 9 here, an 8 here. And that 9 removes the 9 from this cell, this cell, this cell, this cell, this cell, this cell. Okay. And that 8 removes the 8 from here. 7 is removed from here because of this 7. So 8, 9 pair. So 8, 9 pair in row 6. So 8, 9 is removed from here. 9 is removed from here. 8, 9, 8 is removed from here. So slowly the cells are getting stripped off of their values. Slowly one by one the cell is getting reduced, guys. Superb, guys. I'm so happy to make a Sudoku on this, make a video on this Sudoku for you guys. Amazing one. So let us continue the Sudoku now. Okay, 8, 9 pair, so that's not 8, 9. I missed removing the pencil mark from there. So 3, 6 pair. So that's not a 6, so that's a 5 9 3 6. Okay, 5 8 9 triplet. Okay, nothing much. So we just need to set the spark, guys. If you write one pencil mark or one candidate, I think the Sudoku will go to completion. I'm just looking for where to see. Maybe it's right in front of me, but I'm unable to spot that. So 3 4 6. So that's not a 6, that's a 7 9. So 7 9 pair, that gives an 8. And which means that would be a 5. And we have got the spark. Now you look how the Sudoku is going to run, just like that. That will be a 9. That's a 5. That's a 2. That's a 7. That 8 gives a 9 here. That 2 gives a 1. A 2, column 7 is completed, 1. A 5. And this 2 gives a 1. So that's not a 1. So 1 goes here. And this one gives a 5. A 1. 5 gives a 2. A 1. A 2. That gives a 5. And that's not a 5. Okay. And this 9 gives an 8. And that gives a 9. That gives an 8. So that gives a 4. That gives a 6. 6 9. So that would be a 7. And that would be a 2. And 4 gives a 3 here. A 4 here. 3 gives an 8 here. A 7 here. A 9 here. A 3 here. That 7 gives a 9 and a 7 here. Gives a 9 here. A 7 here. That gives a 6. A 4. That 6 gives a 9 6. And that gives a 3 6. That gives a 4 6. A 4 3. A 6 3. A 4 3. And this one gives a 2. That gives a 5. That 7 goes here. That has to be an 8 9 pair. Because of this 9 you get the 9 here and the 8 here, and that has to be 8. And with that we have completed the Sudoku, guys. What a Sudoku! Amazing Sudoku. We had to use 7 swordfishes. We had to find a lot of pairs. We had to find a lot of quadruples to continue the solve. It was an amazing solve. I really enjoyed the Sudoku. Hope you guys too enjoyed the Sudoku as much as I did. Please let us know your thoughts in comments, and please subscribe to the channel, guys. We'd really love to see you subscribing to the channel and cover more such videos in the future. And last but not least, thank you so much, Jack, for creating such a Sudoku. We are really happy to make a video on this. So take care until we see you guys soon with a video. Bye bye.